Hey guys, so I just wanted to come back to update you guys on our journey, where we are right now, what our doctors are telling us, what happened last cycle after our HSG test, and what our plan is. So I was kind of hesitant to get on here just because of the overwhelming feeling of anxiety that I've been having, but I woke up this morning with peace, and I wanted to share with everybody because I know that seeing videos on YouTube have helped me. I'm sorry, this lighting is probably really bad. Okay, seeing videos on YouTube have helped me and encouraged me of women being open and vulnerable, sharing their journey. So I hope to encourage somebody and let whoever's watching this know that you're not alone, that God is with you, and also there's so many people in the world that are fighting the same fight that you are, and I pray it's a fight of faith, because God is faithful. God is faithful to do what He says He's gonna do. It might not be in our time, but the blessings come for those who hope in the Lord will not be put to shame. So this video is gonna be, like I said, about updating you guys all on our journey, what's going on, what we did last cycle, and what we're doing this cycle. So today is March 26th. Yeah, March 26th. And this month, March 5th, I had HSG test done, which was recommended by my doctor to see if my tubes were blocked, because she didn't want to proceed with any hormone medication, Clomid, she wanted to rule out that everything was good and clear, because it would serve no purpose if my tubes were blocked. So I did that, and everything was good. I have a video here on my channel if you want to watch it, about what I expected, my experience, and what me and Adrian did, my husband, me and Adrian did after that cycle to try to conceive. So the chances increased of me getting pregnant in the next 3 months because of the HSG. Not that it did anything specific to help me, it just cleared the way. So today, like I said, is March 26th. This cycle passed. I actually took ovulation tests. Let me find them here because sorry, let me turn this down. It's kind of loud. I didn't want anybody to hear me, so, like, you know, I turned the music up, but now you guys can't hear me. So, like I was saying, sorry, I've been tracking my cycle. So March 5th was right before my ovulation window, and I asked the doctor if it was okay if we still baby danced after the HSG test, or if we should wait. And she said, no, go ahead, you know, try to make a baby. So that was March 5th was a Tuesday. I took a ovulation test that day, and it was negative. I did it in the morning. My test was at 1:30. The next day I took one, it was a negative. The following day I took one, it was a negative. So the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th were all negative ovulation tests. And Saturday, the 9th, I got a positive. I took one in the AM and the PM. So they were both positive. And then also, this is something new that I did. I took one Sunday, the day after I ovulated. Usually I take them until I ovulate, and when I do, that's it. But this cycle is different. So I took one here, I'll show you. So I tracked it and I took one. Okay, so I know in my other videos I showed you guys. So I took one that day, which was day 14, and I continued to take it, and then the next day was like even darker. So I think that was like my peak. So I ovulated, and then I just continued, and then I was negative. These are the days I took double. I wanted to make sure. So okay, so going on with that, my last video, I told you guys everything that I was doing, what I was using to help increase the chances, the vitamins I was taking, and I'm going to continue to take them in the cycle coming up. But I stopped after I knew I wasn't pregnant. So I started testing. You shouldn't start testing early. That's what they always say. So during the 2-week wait, you're supposed to wait because you can get a false negative, and you know, you can get discouraged. Nobody wants to see a negative pregnancy test, but not me. I took one. So I took one starting day 6, past ovulation, DPO. So it was negative. 7 negative, 8 negative, 9 negative, 10 negative, 11, 12. Okay, I just want to say that my cycles are 28 days. Sometimes they are 27, 26, maybe one time I've ever had it 26 recently when I started exercising and getting it healthier. I believe my body was just changing. It's been 29 a few months in the year, maybe last year or the year before. It's been 30 before, one time, and I think it's been 31 one time. So average, my cycles are 28 days. So my period was due this month on the 27th. My period was due on the 27th, which was March 22nd. It was on a Friday. It says I'm pregnant because I wrote that before I found out I wasn't. So okay, so that's 12 DPO. And 12 DPO right here, so I started feeling like not cramps, but like uncomfortable down there. And I told my husband, like, usually I know when I'm gonna start my period because TMI, just let you know, my nipples get sore, and they get really sore. It's like a forecast. I know, like, oh, my period's coming, oh, my period's coming, like, you know, I know. But this month they didn't, so that was odd to me. So that was a sign, like, okay, maybe I'm pregnant. And I just kept that in mind, and I kept on to hope, and you know, I was prepared for whatever, because I kept testing negative. But I was looking at videos seeing how women test false negatives all the time. Women even get blood tests and urine tests and that are negative, but they're pregnant, and it's crazy. But anyways, I was just looking all kinds of stuff up, and then finally the next day, I missed my period that day when my period was due, the 27th day of my cycle, and the 28th I missed it. I went to bed the Saturday, and then I woke up Sunday and I started. And even Saturday I noticed like a little like brownish when I used the restroom, but it wasn't anything like I've seen before. But anyways, it was my period. So I wasn't pregnant. I'm not pregnant, but the good news is that my doctor said that if I'm not pregnant the first day of my cycle, which I expected to be Friday, to give her a call, and she wanted to put me on Clomid. So like I said, I didn't start my period Friday. I started Sunday. So the nurse even said, even if you start on the weekend, call us Monday and we'll prescribe you it, and you take it third day of your cycle, day 3 of your cycle. Sorry, my nails are crazy. But so I did. I called her first thing Monday morning, and I was nervous, and I told Adrian, like, I'm nervous. He's like, just call. So I did, and I was on the phone for like a half an hour. I didn't want to be around anybody when I talked to them, but it just so happened I was out doing ministry and I was around people. But anyways, that's another story. So I called her And she's like, okay, Dr. Wagner's out of the office, but I'm going to talk to the nurse practitioner, Amber. She left directions and instructions here of what she wanted to do with you, and we'll give you a call back. So I was like, okay. So I was just waiting and waiting. Well, not waiting because I was busy. So it kind of flew by, and then when she called back, I was like, hi. And she was like, okay, Maria, we have instructions for you. We sent over the Clomid to your pharmacy, and Dr. Wagner wants you to take that starting day 3 of your cycle and take it for 5 days. So day 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 of your cycle, which is today, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So she sent that over, and she also encouraged us, she prescribed me an injection. So first I'm going to back up and let you know what Clomid is. If you don't know what it is, I had an idea. I've heard it from different people, what it is, what it can do, but that's it. Like, I heard it and that's it. So what Clomid is, it's an estrogen modulator. So it's short-term Clomid. That's the abbreviation for it, or the, nickname, whatever, for it. But it's called clomiphene. And what it is an oral medication that can be used to stimulate ovulation. So, like I said, I didn't say this in this video, but I ovulate. You've seen the ovulation predictor kits, so you know that I ovulate. Last ultrasound, she seen before the HSG test, she didn't say anything. When the lady who did my ultrasound, did it, and that's it. She said, I can't explain anything to you. You have to wait for the doctor. But I kind of had an idea because of looking at other women's ultrasounds and knowing what our egg should measure out to be, all that. So I kind of had an idea of what I was looking at, but I really didn't, because everybody's different. So I seen my follicles, and I seen a really big one. It was, and then when they called, they said, okay, your follicles are 2.1 centimeters, and I wrote that down right away, looked it up later, and it means it was 21, which is good, but that was only one follicle in one ovary, and I'm not sure the other one. So anyways, my follicles, I really don't know like the condition of them, because we weren't really tracking for that. They were just looking for any probably blockage. The reason why she sent me for the HSG test was because she seen dilated tubes. So it looked like my tubes were dilated, and she wanted to rule out that they were blocked before she put me on Clomid. So we did, and they weren't. And now, like I said, they really weren't focusing on my follicles, but now they are. So she gave me Clomid. It works by blocking estrogen receptors in our brain. There's a hormonal center, control center in our brain, and it's called the hypothalamus. And when this happens, the hypothalamus is stimulated to release FSH, follicle stimulating hormone, and LH, luteinizing hormone. So usually our body does that on its own, but with Clomid, when you take it, it's telling your brain that nothing is being released, so it releases more, that your eggs aren't, being developed, I guess, and it releases more. It also says that Clomid usually produces more than one egg per cycle. It's super ovulation. So women like that have PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, they don't produce their own eggs. They don't have periods, they don't ovulate. So doctors usually give them Clomid or any form of this like hormone to do what it's supposed to do, produce. But I produce. So women in my case, it causes superovulation, and that's what we're praying for. That's what we're hoping for, that there's more of a chance this cycle for me to conceive. It increases egg quality, and like I said, I'm going to backtrack to when I started explaining what Clomid was. Ovidrel. Ovidrel is an injection that releases in a mature egg, so it basically does the ovulation part. So Clomid, makes you produce follicles with eggs in them, good eggs, big eggs, super ovulation. And then Ovidrel is an injection you take day 12 of your cycle, or whatever day your doctor tells you, to release the mature egg. So the only way they'll know that is through ultrasound. So she prescribed me, she set up an ultrasound with me on day 12 of my cycle, which is April 4th, next Thursday. So I go for that, and she said to bring in the injection, and if everything looks good, then, and all the follicles are going to have mature follicle, then she wants me to inject that, which is going to cause me to ovulate, which sounded awesome. I was like, oh my God, I was so happy. I was like on cloud 9. That's what I told Adrian, all day. And then I was just planning everything out, like, yes, this is the month, like, oh my God, this is my birthday month and all this. But and then I heard the price of how much it is. So I called him. He was at work. I told him what happened, how she prescribed me Clomid, and she wants me to take the injection. And one of my friends told me that before she got pregnant recently, that was the next step that her and her husband were gonna do. But then they got pregnant before without anything. So that was exciting to me, because I feel like this is what God wants us to do. I believe that we wouldn't be here if he didn't lead us here. And he's good. He's the one who's going to make the baby regardless, not us. So I was excited, and then I told Adrian the price, and the Clomid was no problem. It was only $10 for 5 pills. But the injection, the Ovidrel, was $202, and I'm like, can I get that next week? And she was like, yeah, sure. But then I started thinking about it, and I'm like, man, that's a lot right now for us. And it was like out of nowhere, not planned, so we weren't prepared for it. But I was just upset and full of anxiety, like I said, emotions. But last night at prayer meeting, I prayed about it. God gave me a peace. He gave us a peace, me, my husband, Adrian, and this morning I woke up and I wanted to share with you guys what's going on. So thank you for watching us in our journey. I pray that this is encouraging to someone, that I do want to be transparent, that God's gonna get the glory in it all. I don't want to keep anything from anybody, not keep anything, but the reason why I started this channel and my Instagram page was therapy to me, I guess, but it was to encourage others and connect to others and to give God glory, most of all, because he's gonna do it and his timing is perfect. And we don't think we're gonna go through with the shot this month. However, there have been many successful pregnancies in Clomid. So 80% of women taking Clomid ovulate, and which is good, because I ovulate, and praying that this is super ovulation month for me. 35% of women taking Clomid get pregnant. So we'll see. Ovulation is just one step of making a baby. Obviously there's a lot of other things involved, the sperm, traveling, all that, fertilization, implantation. My uterus lining looked good last month, so we'll see what happens. Thank you guys for your prayers, like I said. And that's it. I just wanted to update you guys on what's going on, and thank you for praying, like I said, for us, and for continuing to trust in God with us. And if you are watching this and you are trying to get pregnant, just continue to hold on to the one who's faithful. You won't see his faithfulness until it's tested in a dark situation. That's when we find out how faithful he is, because he's always there. He never leaves us or forsakes us. And I just thank God for the journey. I thank God for the waiting, and until next time, I'll see you guys.